talking about the new Joyetech AiO Ego from our friends at Joyetech. This guy is for high liquid nicotine as well as salt nicotine, and it's a super sleek style pen. Look at that. Now we're not going to do an up close today because there's really nothing to take apart, so we're just going to kind of dive right into it. It does come with spare coil, and these are 0.5 ohm coils, which is a little weird for salt nic, but we'll talk about that in a second. It's a 1.2 milliliter tank, 0.5 coil, and let's look at the specs here. So it's 113 millimeters top to bottom and 14 across here. It does have a 650 milliamp hour battery, and it does have the changeable LEDs just like the original AiOs. You've got your micro USB charge port right there. Now, the output mode is the eco part of this, and they're saying that this outputs at 1.85 volts. Their theory behind that is with the lower resistance coil, the lower output of voltage will keep the power down so you don't get any of the problems with sub-ohming nic salts that some people have talked about, and research is being done on right now. As well as if you look at those giant wicking holes that they've got in the tank there, it can run 70-30s all the way down to 50-50s, which is a cool kind of mixture. So you can run high nicotine thicker juices or 50-50 blends of salt nic in the same device, which is a very cool touch. You can see that this thing is itty bitty. It is about half the size of my hand, so basically like a fat cig-a-like for some of those, you know. So the low wattage, the 1.8 volt output, they're saying is between 6 and 8 watts with this 0.5 coil that's in here. So that's right about where you want to be, I would say, for salt nic stuff, or 12s and 18s of your free base nicotine. But increases the ramp up speed, and with the low resistance and the lower voltage output, you're supposed to be able to get better battery life out of this guy. I've ran it through a full cycle, and it does last quite a while. I will tell you, I think I charged it after the second day, if I'm not mistaken. They also do have two options. You can see the little airflow right there. There is an option for a different cap with a smaller airflow, but we didn't get that in our sample kit, so we're just going to roll with the big one that we do have. It's a top fill design, so you just unscrew this top cap here, and you can see it's spring loaded. Unscrew this cap right here and fill it up through the top. Easy peasy. Then you just twist it right back on, just like anything else. And it's got nice thick threads on it. It's only about a half a turn to a quarter turn to get it really solid in there, so that's cool. So let's give it a vape and talk about it. So it's a cartomizer style coil, which is an interesting throwback, and it does give you good flavor out of it, but the 0.5 part of this is really the part that I'm kind of questioning. I like the idea because you can use regular freebase nicotine, you can use salt nicotine stuff with it, and the thicker juices will have, because you've got the bigger juice flow holes there, you can run the thicker juices in it, and I like that. But it just seems to have a little bit of a, because it's such a low resistance for the salt nic, which is, I'm using Deadliest Sin from our friends at Good Life Vapor. Shout out to Jeremy. We just got this in stock. It's 30 milligram, 30 mil bottle. So if you're looking for some Deadliest Sin salt nicotine, we got you covered. But the 0.5 part seems to make it taste a little weird. I don't know if it's just me, or maybe the coil's starting to go bad on this one. I'm not 100% sure. Overall, I like it. It's a nice, small, stealthy little device. It's got really good flavor. The coils don't have any problem wicking. Plenty of battery life. The lower voltage output, I don't really notice. It still puts out a good amount of vapor for me, especially for being a salt nic or a pod style or pod type system for your higher nicotine. So overall, I really like it. I would just like to see a maybe a 1 ohm version of this coil, or a 1.2 version maybe, with the same wicking holes, so that you can run your different juices in it. And maybe like a 2.5 volt battery, but it's just nitpicky at this point. You know, overall, if you're looking for a good, small, tasty, inexpensive salt nick device, I would definitely recommend the Joyetech AiO Ego.